When a mother's heartbreak awakens a miracle, her newborn suddenly speaks to her soul, warning of betrayal, tragedy, and destiny itself. But as she follows the whispers of that tiny heart, she uncovers a chilling truth that changes everything. Don't miss this heart-shaking story of love, betrayal, miracles, and redemption. Subscribe now to Next Scene Stories for more emotional, suspenseful tales that touch your soul and leave you breathless. The rain fell in silver sheets the night Alina gave birth, lightning flashing against the hospital windows like the heavens themselves were crying with her. Her husband, Daniel, wasn't there. He'd turned off his phone again, probably with his mistress, the woman whose name she had whispered to herself in pain for weeks, tasting the bitterness of betrayal on her tongue. Alina's tears mixed with sweat as she screamed through labor, her heart heavy with the knowledge that she was bringing a child into a broken world. But the moment the baby's cry pierced the sterile air, something miraculous happened. The lights flickered, the wind outside roared, and for a heartbeat, time seemed to still. The nurse gasped, saying she'd never felt such warmth radiate from a newborn before, as though a tiny sun had entered the room. They placed the baby girl in Alina's trembling arms, and suddenly, deep in her chest, Alina heard something. Not words from the air, but a voice within her heart. "Mommy, don't cry," the soft whisper said, tender and pure, yet filled with an ancient calm. Alina froze, her tears stopping mid-fall. She looked around, terrified, but the nurse was gone for a moment, and the room was eerily still except for the baby's tiny heartbeat pressing against her chest. Who are you?" Alina whispered shakily, and the voice replied, "It's me, Mommy. I'm your daughter. Don't be afraid. I came to change your fate." Shocked beyond comprehension, Alina thought she was hallucinating from exhaustion. But when she looked into the baby's eyes, those strange gray-blue depths seemed far older than a newborn's, like they held centuries of knowing. Days passed, and Daniel finally showed up at the hospital with fake concern plastered on his face, the smell of expensive perfume still clinging to his shirt. Alina wanted to scream, but when she looked at her sleeping daughter, she heard that soft voice again. "Don't argue, Mommy, just watch." And she did. Daniel kissed her forehead perfunctorily, but his eyes were cold, calculating. "You've been through a lot," he said, "but babies are expensive, and the company's struggling. Maybe we should move in with my friend Julia for a while. She has space." Alina's blood ran cold. Julia was the mistress. Her hands trembled, but her baby stirred and whispered again, "He will destroy himself soon, Mommy. Don't stop him yet." A strange calm filled her as she nodded and played along, knowing something bigger was unfolding. That night, when everyone was asleep, Alina's dreams filled with visions, flashes of events she couldn't explain. She saw Daniel signing forged documents, Julia stealing money from his accounts, and herself standing before a tall man with silver eyes in a grand office, her baby in her arms as destiny twisting in new directions. Weeks turned into months. The baby, whom Alina named Leora, meaning light, continued to communicate through heart whispers, her guidance saving Alina from countless dangers. One night, as the baby slept, Alina's phone buzzed. It was a message from an unknown number. "Your husband just transferred your inheritance to his mistress's account. Check your bank." Panicked, Alina looked, and indeed, the account was empty. Her heart shattered. "Leora," she sobbed silently, "what do I do now?" The baby's voice echoed, calm but urgent. "Mommy, you must go to the man in the glass tower. He will help us." Confused, Alina followed that whisper. Days later, standing before the towering glass building of Sterling Enterprises, where fate awaited. Inside, she met Adrian Sterling, the cold, brilliant CEO whose name made even the city's elite tremble. He was known for his ruthlessness, but when his piercing silver eyes met Alina's, something shifted. "Why are you here?" he asked sharply, and Alina, clutching Leora, blurted out everything, her husband's betrayal, the stolen money, the strange visions, and her baby's mysterious gift. Adrian listened silently, his gaze unreadable. Finally, he said, "You're not crazy. You've been chosen." It turned out that Adrian had once met a mystic woman who spoke of a child of the future who would bring balance to those who were wronged and reveal the corruption hidden in man's hearts. "That child is your daughter," he said softly, staring at Leora, who opened her eyes and smiled at him as though she knew him from another life. Suddenly, the temperature in the room dropped, the lights flickered again, and Leora's tiny hand reached toward Adrian. "You must protect Mommy," her heart voice whispered, not just to Alina this time, but to both of them. Adrian froze, hearing the voice echo in his mind too. His eyes widened in disbelief, and for the first time in years, the stoic CEO felt something like awe. From that day, everything changed. Adrian took Alina and Leora under his protection, exposing Daniel's fraud to the media, his company crumbling overnight. Daniel and Julia ran, but destiny wasn't done yet. Leora kept growing, her gift intensifying. She began predicting events, accidents, betrayals, even natural disasters through dreams shared with her mother. Sometimes she'd cry in her sleep and whisper, "Mommy, he's coming back." One stormy night, Daniel returned, desperate and unhinged, having lost everything. He broke into Adrian's mansion, screaming for Alina to come out. "You ruined me," he shouted, holding a gun. Adrian moved swiftly, shielding Alina, but before the trigger could be pulled, Leora's voice rang through the room, audible to everyone this time. "Stop!" The force of it made the air tremble, and Daniel dropped the gun, his body shaking violently as if struck by lightning. He collapsed, unconscious but alive, tears streaming down his face. "He's seen what he did to us," Leora's voice whispered faintly. "He will never hurt us again." When he woke, Daniel confessed everything, his crimes, his lies, his guilt, begging forgiveness. Alina, trembling, forgave him, not for his sake, but to release herself from the pain he'd caused. As months turned into years, Alina's life transformed. Adrian, who had once sworn never to love, found himself drawn to the woman who had suffered so much yet remained pure at heart. Their connection deepened, bound not just by affection, but by something almost divine. Leora, now 3 years old, was adored by all, her laughter said to bring good fortune wherever she went. But destiny still had one more twist to reveal. One day, Leora fell gravely ill. The doctors were baffled. Her body was fine, yet her heartbeat grew weaker. Panicked, Alina held her, crying, "Please don't leave me." Through faint whispers, Leora said, "Mommy, don't cry. I came to change your fate, remember? The pain you lived, the betrayal, the loneliness, it was to make you strong enough to love again. My mission is ending, but you'll never lose me. Look at your heart." Then she smiled one last time, and her heartbeat stopped. The world went silent. Alina screamed, her tears falling onto her child's still face. But as lightning struck outside once more, something miraculous happened. Leora's tiny body glowed with radiant light, dissolving into golden particles that flowed into Alina's chest. Her heart blazed with warmth, and she heard her daughter's voice again, stronger than ever. "I'm still here, Mommy. I'll always be your light." When Alina opened her eyes, Adrian was holding her, tears streaming down his face. But in that moment, a strange peace filled the air. The storm outside cleared, and dawn broke. Alina realized that Leora hadn't died. She had become a part of her, guiding her forever. In the months that followed, Alina and Adrian founded a charity for abandoned mothers and children, naming it Leora's Light Foundation. Miracles began to follow wherever they went. Diseases healed, broken families reunited, lost souls found hope. People whispered that the woman who once suffered betrayal had been blessed by heaven itself. Years later, as Alina stood before a crowd at the foundation's 10th anniversary, she looked up at the sky and whispered, "Thank you, my light." And in that moment, a soft wind wrapped around her, carrying the faintest whisper, "I love you, Mommy." The audience saw it too. the faint golden shimmer surrounding her heart, and they knew they had witnessed something divine. The woman who had once been broken had become a living miracle, all because of a newborn who could see the future and a mother brave enough to believe.